So I'm joined now by Shaun Springer, the Chief Executive of Square Mile Services. His remuneration advisory firm consults more than a dozen top city of London, I should say, institutions on pay and bonuses. So thanks very much for coming in to speak to us.
Morning.
Now, I understand that you've said bonuses are going to be down, what, 5 to 10% on last year?
It looks like it's probably going to be a little bit more, but somewhere around 10 to 12%.
Across the board?
Yeah.
But is it going to be enough? We were just hearing a clip there from Business Secretary Vince Cable saying that, look, they're still too excessive. I mean, just because they're coming down, because of, you know, if you're saying that they were excessive to begin with, that we still need radical reform on the structure of bonuses.
Well, the very word bonus is going to inflame public opinion, and public ire at bonuses is going to increase in direct relationship to inflation, public sector cuts, and unemployment.
And what about Project Merlin, a deal between Chancellor George Osborne and the likes of RBS, HSBC, Lloyds, Barclays to curb excessive bonuses? Critics are saying that actually Osborne is taking it easy on the banks.
Well, he's got a difficult position because we could impose these penalties on British banks, but of course we can't impose them on foreign banks. So all we're really doing is tying yet another millstone around British banks and their ability to compete with foreigners.
So what about these threats then from many bank executives that they will move to New York or Asia if the regulation on banks and bonuses becomes too punitive? Do you take those threats seriously?
Well, these threats are in fact being enacted as we speak. We're not talking about a mass exodus of hundreds of thousands of bankers. We're talking about an exodus of the elite, the 3 to 5% at the very top. And these bankers are already moving. You only have to look at the number of expats who left this country over the course of the last year. They alone paid 800 million in tax. The revenue is now no longer going to receive as a direct result of the punitive measures imposed on expats, for instance. As long as we continue to unilaterally impose punitive measures on British banks or on specific parts of those banks, expats, for instance, we're going to continually lose our quality staff, which is a major asset of the City of London.
But many banks have found ways of getting around rules and restrictions by increasing base salaries, for example.
Yes, but the base salary, even if you double the base salary, for the top 3 to 5%, this is still a small percentage of what they're potentially able to earn. The key to this is allowing people to maximize their earning potential. If they're not allowed to do it here, then the elite will, and indeed are, move somewhere else where they will be allowed to do it.
But I guess critics are saying that we need more transparency here, because without that we're never actually going to know if banks are fueling risks, or, you know, if bonuses are in fact in line with how staff are performing, right?
Transparency of the instruments and the trades you're doing is entirely different from transparency as to how you're paying people. The two are not related and need to be handled separately.
So what are your clients telling you, and what are you advising many of them to do? Well,
most of it I'm not allowed to talk about, first of all. But really, the clients are just looking to be able to get on with the business they want to get on with the business their shareholders pay them to do, without political interference. And they will go to wherever they can to avoid that interference. Ideally in Europe, such as Switzerland, maybe even Dublin. But otherwise, they could move whole operations to Singapore or Hong Kong or Sydney without much of a blink.
Shaun Springer, good to talk to you. Thanks very much.